In this bag is a cultural touchstone for many Mexicans.
A cobija San Marcos, or a San Marcos blanket.
This is my favorite find of all time.
Came into the store today in Mexico, San Luis Rio Colorado, to see if they had the blankets San Marcos, the ones that are really warm.
They're really good quality. These are 10 pounds.
The San Marcos blankets usually come with a wild animal design, are made in Mexico, and yes, weigh a ton.
¿Necesitas un cobertor que siempre esté de tu lado?
How did this famous blanket come to be?
I don't even think we washed them back then. I don't know.
They don't lose its thickness.
Why did it go out of business? And if it really went out of business, how on earth was I able to get my hand on this in downtown Los Angeles in 2025? My name is Fernando Hurtado, and this story is about the hyphen between the textile industry and Mexico.
The first San Marcos blankets were produced in 1976 in Aguascalientes, Mexico by Jesus Rivera Franco. According to the Los Angeles Times, who interviewed Rivera Franco's brother in 2012, the family had a business making scarves, shawls, and blankets. It was on a trip to Spain that Jesus ran into a blanket made out of polyester. It was warm and hefty, but not too heavy, and it had a border and the same design on either side, just with inverted colors.
He wanted to bring something like this to Mexico. 5 months and 2,000 attempts later, he found the winning formula.
A 4 to 7 pound blanket called San Marcos after the neighborhood he lived in Aguascalientes.
¿Necesitas un cobertor que siempre esté de tu lado? Calientito, pero que no te haga el sueño pesado. Suave y ligerito, pero que no te deje frío con el precio. Entonces necesitas un super cobertor San Marcos, el más cálido y ligero de la familia. Toda la línea de supercobertores con los que siempre vas a soñar.
San Marcos, más calidad compañía.
According to Chilango, the blankets gained popularity in the 80s and 90s, particularly in the central and northern parts of Mexico, as those areas had harsh winters.
The blankets were a hit. Pretty soon, he was selling about 300,000 blankets a month for $8 each. According to Alto Nivel, what made the blankets particularly popular was their customizability.
Each one had an enormous design emblazoned on it, from a horse to an NFL team logo to a tiger.
El rollo es de que creo yo que no se debe de comprar un alce, que no se debe de comprar, creo que por ahí había un panda, que la gente bien debe de comprar un tigre.
The growth was fueled by a large consumer base.
According to Alto Nivel, the blankets were more popular with lower social classes. Upper-class Mexicans saw the blankets as tacky. In Tijuana, Mexicans living in the U.S. would even cross the border to buy the blankets in bulk.
It's 2 p.m. and you're still in bed? Are you sick? Where's the Vaporru?
No, I'm not sick. I'm just in my happy place right now.
Your happy place is wrapped up in a blanket?
This isn't just any blanket. This is a Mexican cobija.
Oh yeah, those are the Mexican blankets with the random designs on it. I remember learning about that.
Not random designs, beautiful designs, like tigers. Get it right.
Okay, didn't realize you were that passionate about a blanket.
Do you know how many harsh winters these blankets have gotten my family through?
By the 1990s, Jesus was running more than 10 factories to keep up with the demand.
But just a few years later, business started slowing down.
Citing fierce and cheaper competition from Asia, in 1993, Jesus sold the blanket brand to Sitza, a company in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. With the acquisition, Sitza became the largest acrylic product producer in the country. But about a decade later, Sitza would close the San Marcos part of its business. The company said growing competition, primarily from the Asia-Pacific region, led to the closure, not just of San Marcos, but eventually all of its textile businesses.
Hello guys, so this is my new San Marcos I bought yesterday. And it's actually an original from 2001. This was before San Marcos got a lot of business with the fábrica or the factory.
I want to take a moment to tell you something. My name is Fernando Hurtado, and I'm a journalist with more than 8 years of experience. I recently left my job at NBC and Telemundo to launch this channel, In The Hyphen, to tell deeply researched, visually rich stories about US Latinos. And I need your help. please hit the subscribe button and hit the little ring notification bell button so you don't miss a single video. And if you want to go a step further and support my work, you can join my Patreon. There you get early access to videos, shout outs in the descriptions of my videos, and you even get access to my Build Out Loud podcast where I peel back the curtain on the business side of In The Hyphen, where I talk numbers, which yes, includes money. All right, back to the video. So when the San Marcos brand closed up shop, other companies jumped in to fill the void in the market.
Companies like Providencia or Siena Home Textiles in the state of Tlaxcala became key players in the market. Siena Home Textiles launched the brands San Martin and Altamira, but the company started facing hard times a few years later. A company executive told El País that workers in its textile factories tended to skew older and younger generations weren't filling new jobs. In 2020, the company was forced to stop production in its factory due to the coronavirus pandemic. The company pivoted to making masks, but later that year, a Mexican news outlet reported the company started closing many of its stores, citing low demand.
So if Jesus sold the company in 1993 and the new owner shut down the brand in 2004, how on earth was I able to get my hand on this in downtown Los Angeles in 2025? So when I first saw this blanket, I freaked out. I thought surely someone revived the brand, but then I noticed a few things. First is the logo. It looks pretty different from the original San Marcos logo, and maybe you think, okay, fine, they just updated the logo, no big deal. But then you'll see some key differences. For one, the name of the blanket. So if you'll recall, the original blanket is called San Marcos. This one is called La San Marcos. They added the La at the beginning, which seems like a minor difference, but it tells you it's a different name of the blanket. And then upon closer inspection, you'll see that La San Marcos is not the name of the brand. The name of the brand, or the ones who make the blankets, is Global Linen, which we see right here in the corner right there. But that doesn't really tell us too much right away because, okay, maybe it was revived by another company in Mexico, but when we look in the tag, we see that it's made not in Mexico, but China. I wanted to learn more about who in China is making these blankets, so I reached out to Global Linen.
I went to globallinenhome.com, Global Linen's website, and learned that they are one of America's top importers in textiles and one of the major distributors in downtown Los Angeles. I wanted to learn more about who is making these very Mexican blankets, so I reached out to the company.
My name is Bassem Hamida. I'm an importer from China. We've been importing for about 25 years now. We concentrate in the Hispanic community.
Bassem told me that he actually used to sell the original San Marcos blankets before they went out of business.
What happened is over the years, China has become very competitive and very smart in making blankets and in all home goods, really. And they sort of outbeat Mexico in the production, in the packing, in the final finishing product.
En México, fíjense que los vestidos de quinceañera, íconos de una celebración muy nuestra, muy mexicana, están siendo desplazados por versiones mucho más baratas provenientes, ¿de dónde cree usted? De China.
Esta oferta lo que hace es que abarata, ¿no? Abarata el mercado como tal y pone en dificultades a los vendedores tradicionales.
El sector textil mexicano ha perdido alrededor, fíjese, de 80,000 empleos, 80,000 familias, así hay que verlo, en los últimos 8 trimestres.
Decenas de empresas han cerrado las cortinas y se han perdido miles de empleos por esto.
This is not a new phenomenon. It's a challenge the industry has faced since before Jesus Rivera Franco first sold the San Marcos business in the 90s.
La industria nacional afronta una importante caída, debido principalmente a la competencia de los productores asiáticos.
25 years ago, if we were buying home goods, let's say, not very much from China, I want to say. Not very much from China. It was probably like 15, 20%. In today's market, I'd say 95% of the merchandise comes from China compared to Mexico.
Bassem started carrying this new San Marcos blanket 4 years ago. I asked Bassem how it sold compared to other blankets the company carries.
La San Marcos is a higher quality blanket for us. In total, it's 6 kilos. Everyone's always trying to get value. And in the Latino market, it's always the 3 Bs. Bonito, barato, bueno. So you're always trying to get value. it isn't at the top of the list of the blankets that sell, but definitely there's a niche for it.
Back at this store, I asked the salesman who sold me my La San Marcos blanket for more information. He didn't want to be on camera, but he told me that basically all the blankets they sell in this style are from Asia. He also said Osaka blankets from Japan are the most popular, with people coming in specifically to request those. Today, if you search San Marcos blanket on places like Amazon or Walmart, you'll see things marketed as Mexican blanket or microfiber fluffy Mexican for adults, when they're really made in China.
So now I'm curious, do you have a San Marcos blanket? If so, is it one of the original ones made in Mexico? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. And by the way, if you like this video, you might enjoy this other video I made as well.